It's me, Mario. Hello.
Hey guys, it's Shaun, back with another Let's Play. This is our first Mario game. Super Mario 64, so it's a well-known classic. I have no idea why they let you do this, but it's funny. Do-dee-dee-doo-dee-doo.
Okie dokie.
So, Super Mario 64 is a well-known classic. It was a launch title for Nintendo 64. I'm playing this on the Wii U, the Virtual Console. Pretty much entirely because the resolution is much nicer. I do have my 64 and I'm probably going to play some stuff on there at some point that isn't on the Virtual Console. But the output for the 64 has not aged well, honestly. And there's only so much you can do to really clean up the video. But I think this, the Wii U Virtual Console, was 64 displayed at 480p upscale to 720, I think was the thing. So I'm playing this on the Wii U, using the Wii U Pro Controller. It'd be really nice if Nintendo would put Nintendo 64 games on the Switch. But then I don't really want to buy them again. Or if they did a 64 Classic, I'd appreciate that. Just make the controller better. So yeah, it's the thing to be aware of with a lot of the Let's Plays I record is a lot of them are very spur of the moment when I start them. I'll be like, okay, I finished the last game that I did, and I need another game to record, and then I'll just go through my lists to decide what to record. And so at that point, I was like, okay, I don't really know what I'm going to be recording usually before I record it. I mean, at the time of recording, currently Resident Evil 4 is still going up, although it has finished being recorded. But we have the Tuesday, Thursday slot to consider. Because, you know, I'm doing the Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday uploads. So Resident Evil 4 is in the Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I think at this point, during recording, Spider-Man finished last week. Which gives you an idea of exactly when I'm recording this. Not as organised as I sometimes appear. Oh, it's a backflip up there, it would look really cool. So yeah, I was just looking through my list and I was kind of debating Spyro, the original Spyro, for a bit. But kind of decided I wasn't in the mood for it at the minute. And then turned on my Wii U, I was like, what do I have on the Wii U that I might feel like recording? And the answer ended up being Super Mario 64. Which, you know, I don't really have any issue with. Mario 64 is a great game. You could see on the title screen, I've already played it twice on the Wii U. It was actually a thing when I first got my Wii U. Mario 64 was one of the first things I got for it. I don't think I'd played it for a long time by that point, because I had my Wii. But in all honesty, I rarely played. Really played Virtual Console, or even Wii games. There's not many Wii games I've actually spent much time with. Because the controls have not aged well, and aged probably faster than any other control scheme ever, but that's besides the point. So, like, before I got my Wii U, I hadn't really played this in years. So I got the Wii U, and it's like, oh, the gamepad is actually kind of really neat for off-TV play. So I started playing Mario 64 without really even bothering to turn the TV on, which was really nice. Because I was lazy. Oh, there's Cooper. So I really enjoyed that, and that was my first save file. Now we just have to wait for Cooper. That was my first save file, which I was going for 100% on, and I'm actually very close. I've not played that save file in a few years now, a couple of years. Because I got sick of a couple of stars really late in the game. And is part of the reason why I don't actually do 100% playthroughs very often, because eventually I'll just start getting sick of something. And if I'm not having fun, then I stop seeing the point of playing. It's like, I have nothing against people who do 100% runs. And yeah, there's a lot of respect you have to have for people like that who will just do 100%. But for most games, I do not have the patience for it. And I have less patience than I used to for these things. So don't expect a 120 star run from this. The biggest issue with playing Nintendo 64 games on anything that isn't the 64 is they always map the C buttons to the right analog stick. And the problem is the right analog stick on basically everything is more sensitive than the 64 was. So way too often you could try to use one of the C buttons with the right analog stick and it will register the wrong button alongside the same button. Which is a big issue. It's like, I might start doing Ocarina of Time soon, because a little bit behind the scenes here, I did record A Link to the Past. I fully recorded A Link to the Past, but there were problems with the footage and I ended up getting rid of it, and I don't feel like going through it again so soon. So that's definitely one thing with me as well. I don't generally replay games multiple times in short time frames because I lose interest. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Link to the Past, but it's like, I'm gonna give it a little bit of time before I go back to it. But I do want to do a Zelda game for the channel. So I'm debating Ocarina of Time very soon, but Ocarina is a long game. Considerably longer than Link to the Past. But I'll be playing that on the Wii U Virtual Console rather than the N64 because of the resolution again. But using the C buttons on that can be really awkward as well, but thankfully they don't control the camera. In Mario 64 they control the camera, which can be really irritating, but the camera is usually pretty good about it. Donkey Kong 64 though, I have Donkey Kong 64 on the Virtual Console and I've never played it, pretty much entirely because the camera felt really finicky with the right analog stick. So we're not doing a 100% playthrough of this game, but I will be showing off every course and getting a good number of secret stars as well. Because there is fun to be had in every course. There we go. There is fun to be had in every course. There might be a couple of courses I'll get all the stars from, but we'll see. Really depends on how I feel about the course itself. I wanted to do a long jump there, but I ended up in mid-air just as I was about to press the Z button, so I did the ground pound instead of the slide. Oh well. But Mario 64 is, of course, a legendary game. Contributed quite a bit to the industry, actually. It was launched out for the Nintendo 64 in 1996. Possibly 97 in Europe, I'm not entirely sure offhand. And it basically showed off the benefits of the analog stick. The Nintendo 64 controller had the analog stick. I think it might have been the first console with an analog stick, but I'm not entirely sure. It's possible there was a lesser known one that did. But it certainly popularised the use, and Mario 64 showed off just how good that was for the 3D movement. Like, the movement still plays really well. It can be a little awkward sometimes when you want to, like that, the little turn arc can be a little awkward sometimes when it happens, because it doesn't happen all the time. But the movement is still really solid. And the controller's aged really well. So yeah, Mario 64 wasn't my first Nintendo 64 game, I don't think. So I remember, and I'm probably going to bring this up again during the Ocarina of Time playthrough, I remember my first experience with the Nintendo 64 was my grandfather brought over the Nintendo 64 that he got, and the big point of interest for me was not a Link to the Past, was Ocarina of Time, because I loved the Link to the Past on Super Nintendo, and it was like, here's Zelda but 3D, and I remember it being so amazing to me. That was my first real experience. God, what year would that have been? 99, 2000 maybe? I don't know, because it wasn't at launch. But I did eventually end up with a 64 of my own, and I did have Mario 64, I had Ocarina of Time, of course. I didn't know about... Oh, no. I didn't know about that for the longest time. I thought the way you were supposed to get into that cage was to shoot in there from this cannon. And so I spent ages trying to do it, and I think I did eventually do it once. But the angling on it is really difficult. But the style we're after is actually this. Well, this is how you're expected to get it. Shoot into Wild Blue Yonder. But if you know what to do... And I'm going to embarrass myself here by not actually being able to do it. Because this game introduced, there you go, the wall jump, which they call the wall kick in this game. And you can actually wall kick off that wall. There we go. To get the star. And it is actually quicker, and if you ever watch speedrun, a lot of speedrunners will go for that, because doing the wall kick doesn't require the cannon being open, so you can get it from the first star, and it's really quick. My least favourite stars in the game are the red coin stars, along with the 100 coin stars. Which probably speaks to the mentality that I've gotten as I've grown older. The collectathon style, I'm not so fond of it anymore. Which is probably why I didn't get so much into Banjo-Kazooie when I finally played it. Okay, so we'll get the last star and we will skip the red coin star because... yeah, I'm going to see about getting through this entire game without getting a single red coin star. That will make me happy. 15 courses, 15 red coin stars, but there's 120 stars in the game, so it doesn't really matter so much. You can miss 15 stars easy. It's not that they're difficult, I just don't really enjoy running around the level to get them all. That said, my other save file, with the, I think it's 108 stars, I think I do have almost all of the red coin stars. I think the only one I'm missing is from Rainbow Ride. And I think that's only because I hadn't actually started Rainbow Ride yet. I got really sick of TikTok Clock. Okay, so that was course 2. Let's go for course 3. In fact, let me check this. So 8 stars in there, plus the 7 in there. It's 15. 16, 17 up there. Plus the 7 in there. How many were we on? 7, 14. 21. 23. Yeah, you could get to the second... you could get to the second Bowser battle without ever going to... You could get enough stars for the second Bowser fight without going to the... first Bowser fight. Okay, so that's the red cap done. And since I said I won't get any red coin stars, that also means the one in there, there's the one in the Bowser room, the second Bowser room, the third Bowser room. It is actually going to be more than 15. But we should have enough stars regardless. So, Jolly Roger Bay, and I remember I've mentioned a couple of times back when I was doing commentary, I recorded the Super Mario 64 playthrough, and there was a problem with there was a problem with Jolly Roger Bay. This shell, I always loved the shell underwater, but for some reason, it always just ends around here. You see what I mean? Yeah, I remember like I couldn't get this guy to come out for some reason. And since then, I have found out that what you're supposed to do is go right down and then go up. And I remember I should have known this at the time because I think I'd watched... there's a series on YouTube called Boundary Break that actually did take a look at the eel. and he won't move out of there. He should be around, actually. Yeah, there he is. He won't move out of there while you're looking at him. You have to move away, and then all of a sudden he'll just spawn outside, which was kind of interesting. But yeah, I never actually got this star in the commentary version of this. Come on, get that. There we go. But I am glad to be making up for that now. With this, it was a mistake that I hadn't really fully looked into. But like I say, I have watched other playthroughs since then and found that it was just my mistake. It wasn't the game was glitched. Oh, to be fair, it's weirdly obtuse. Like, you know, just a little bit in my defense. That said, it's kind of weird that I didn't remember that. But the good news is, like, I got 1 star of Jolly Roger Bay in the commentary. I will be able to get more of them here, which is really nice.